the Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, semi-retired pro wrestler, and today, I'm your host. Listen, Cody Rhodes won the King of the Ring, but did Randy Orton just wake up the Viper? Jade Cargill, she made history, but why was the crowd so silent? And John Cena, he's still champion, but he's not saving the day anymore. He's soaking in the booze. Night of Champions raised more questions than it's answered, and we're diving all into it. Just want to let you know, if it's your first time here, even if you've been here before, this podcast is fully interactive, whether it's live or on demand, so make sure you put all your messages into the chat. I respond to everything. Heel Vega is here already. What's going on? Thank you so much for joining. But look, Cody Rhodes is the King of the Ring. He beats Randy Orton in the final, but what was the cost? Like, you think that Randy Orton is just giving it away for free? That's what it might feel like, because 2 years in a row, Randy Orton has been in the finals for the King of the Ring, and he's giving it away. He's giving it away. He's giving it up. That's why I said a couple months ago that Randy Orton's Viper has gone soft.
Oh, yeah.
Last year was Gunther, and this year, last night, yesterday, whenever you watched it, this morning, it was against his friend, his pal, his confidant, Cody Rhodes. But there is a look. There is a post-match look that occurred after that match. And if I was Randy Orton, I'd be worried for my ass. Look, that is moments after the match finished. And when you look at the face of Cody Rhodes, Cody looks very concerned. Cody Rhodes knows that he messed up. If you watch those moments right after the bell rang, you see the look on Cody Rhodes' face. You know that Cody Rhodes knows that this may not be what he think it is. That friendship that he and Randy Orton had going into WrestleMania 40 to help him finish the story doesn't exist anymore. Cody Rhodes is in trouble. The Viper is going to be slithering back. When you watch the interview in the ring with Brian Saxton and Cody Rhodes, you just see Randy Orton just standing there. And then Cody Rhodes has the audacity. He has the testicular fortitude, the same testicles that he let John Cena kick him in to win the championship at WrestleMania 41. He said, well, let's just give it up for Randy. Yeah, let's just give it up for Randy. Randy doesn't want anybody to give it up for him, because the whole entire time when they were giving it up for Randy, what did Randy get? I'll tell you what Randy got. Randy got put through a table in leading up to WrestleMania 40, right? He got put through a table. Who puts Randy Orton through a table? I'll tell you who put Randy Orton through a table. It was Jacob Fatu. There is no time that I can ever remember that I ever seen Randy Orton give up a piece of his behind like that. But Randy Orton made it clear. The night after WrestleMania 41, Cody, I'm coming for you. I got next. And Cody Rhodes doesn't even understand that his biggest threat was standing behind him the entire time. But look, we're going to go more into this just a little bit later on. But Cody may be crowned, but the Queen's coronation, it got a different kind of reaction. Well, in case you didn't know, Jade Cargill has won the Women's King of the Ring. But there's a problem. When you watch the whole entire match, everybody's just quiet. They're just sitting there. There's no reaction whatsoever. There was 4 women that participated in 2 matches last night, yesterday, whenever you watched it. And the audience did not even fart in their direction. The audience just sat there and just watched. The only person that probably really got a reaction was Rhea Ripley. But when you're looking at Jade Cargill, no reaction. Asuka, no reaction. Raquel Rodriguez, all right, I get it, but no reaction. There's an issue with that. They want to make everything equal for ladies in Saudi Arabia. Ladies in Saudi Arabia have been oppressed for a long time. You know, that's why the ladies wear different gear when they're in Saudi Arabia. They can't show any skin, so they have to come out and wrestle in these long leotards or whatever that they want to wrestle in, you know, because of their modesty, because of the religion. Not a hate on the religion at all. Your religion is your religion. Like what you like. Praise the Lord or praise Allah. But my whole thing is that they're doing the ladies an injustice by having them wrestle in Saudi Arabia. And when I mean that they're doing an injustice by having them wrestle in Saudi Arabia, the people that are watching, if you watch the audience, it's more men, more boys, more males that are watching it. But when you look at the fact that in Saudi Arabia, that they may actually, I did try to do the research and I couldn't find any video on it. But from what I did on the research to find out how they do television and modesty and stuff like that, the women's matches, they may cut them out altogether. They may not show the women's matches. Or what they may do is they may zoom in on those matches so you don't see too much like, you know, behind, or they may zoom out so you don't see so much behind or cleavage or anything like that. So the men, the males of Saudi Arabia are not familiar with what's going on. Let me give the chat some love. Lou Vega. Heel Vega. Where'd I get Lou Vega from? Ain't it the guy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, before your time. So Heel Vega says, good afternoon, everybody, and God bless the Lord's Day. Thank you. God bless you as well, too. He said, Randy didn't awaken the Viper. Cody Rhodes did. He will not enjoy those light and fast RKOs with his name on it. Let me tell you something. Cody Rhodes is in trouble. He says, Cody knows the real Randy from their time in Legacy, and that's why he was doing that look. Like, you know when you do something to where you, like, offend somebody, and you kind of look at them just to be like, let me try to take the temperature? Well, Cody Rhodes was trying to take that temperature, and he knew that's the moment that he messed up. Heel Vegas says, on the bright side, Cody's post-victory promo was really good. Basically translated to, you boo me when I wrestle your favors, but I don't give a, forget about it. And I'm getting my SH back. Loved it. Yeah, okay. I got a little bit more about Cody Rhodes later on. Make sure you keep it locked. I have a bold prediction and what is going to happen with the undisputed WWE Championship. I've been saying for months that the only person that could take the undisputed championship off of John Cena is Cody Rhodes, but I'm going to eat those words. Make sure you keep it locked, because in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think is going to happen. We are now talking about Jade Cargill winning, and Heel Vega says that Jade deserved it despite what fans feel online. All the story to tie into her and Naomi's beef. Jade gets a shot at Tiffany or Io, most likely Tiffany at SummerSlam, and I see Naomi cashing occurring. Let me tell you something. Naomi is not, under any circumstances, and thank you so much for your messages. Make sure you drop all your messages in. We got a poll going on as well. You can only vote in a poll if it's live, so make sure you join us from it live. The poll is asking, was Night of Champions even worth your time? Yes or no? We made it really simple. But look, Naomi is not going to let Jade Cargill rock. She could have cashed in last night. I mean, she could have cashed in on SmackDown. She tried. But you know what? The bigger cash-in is going to be when Jade Cargill wins at SummerSlam in MetLife, and I will be there with my boy. When the bell goes ding, 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 oh my God, Jade Cargill win. Diggy, 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 diggy. Oh my God, she's queen of the ring. And guess what's going to happen? Naomi's going to say, nah, bruh, give me that. I want that. My name is on that. But that's the moment that I think that we're going to get the confirmation that Bianca Belair had something to do with it the entire time. Bianca Belair, her hands may not be dirty, and I talked about this before, but her hands could be dirty, because all they said was, you know what? I just saw Naomi walking away. That's what Jade Cargill said. She said she just saw Jade Cargill walking away. Make sure you smash that like button. She said she just saw Jade Cargill walking away. What if Bianca Belair, I mean, not Jade Cargill, she just saw Naomi walking away? What if Bianca Belair was there the whole entire time as well, too? But what's happening is that we don't know that because she didn't see that. Maybe all those tears that Bianca Belair and Naomi shed in the ring were just fake. They're just crocodile tears. What you crying for? Nobody gave you nothing to cry for. You're out here putting on the show, you and your homegirl Naomi, because y'all best friends. Y'all threatened by somebody like the likes of Jade Cargill. And what happened? I put her through a car. But the crowd was definitely sitting on their hands for that match. And I feel that if WWE wants to make, women's wrestling more popular in Saudi Arabia, you know what? They should just stop going to Saudi Arabia with the women's wrestling altogether. I just don't think that it works. They may not be familiar with the woman, but like I said, it's a big win, huge win for Jade Cargill. This is her first singles championship or singles accolade, because it's not really a championship. Her winning the Women's King of the Ring is her first singles accolade. She's been a tag team champion before. And everybody said that Jade Cargill wasn't good a couple months ago. But this is that validation, right? Jade Cargill didn't know the WWE style. She came from AEW. So she came in here to learn. And now, look who she is now. Let's see what we got in the chat. Heel Vegas said, you'll be at SummerSlam too. Definitely need an autograph. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring a couple shirts. And when I see some people, I'm going to give it away. I'm going to put on social media when I get to SummerSlam where to find me. If you want a free t-shirt, I'll bring you some. I will bring out the free merch for SummerSlam, and I'm just going to give it away. I'm going to give it away. That don't mean that you shouldn't buy it now, right? The stuff that I'm talking about that I'm giving you is different than what you can get at the Tristan Law Show store. The link is in the description. Make sure you check that out. Looking forward to meet you in person, Hill Vega. Hill Vega said, nobody gave you nothing to cry about. Certainly something I heard growing up in the hood as a baby. But I give you something to cry about. Damn right, they're going to give her something to cry about. But Jade got the crown. Solo Sikoa got the U.S. title. But the way he got it, that's the real story. Let me tell you. Nobody thought that Jacob Fatu was going to walk out of Saudi Arabia with his bags a couple pounds lighter. I thought so. Let me tell you why I thought that Jacob Fatu was going to walk out of the ring without having a United States champion. So LA Knight was a United States champion, before or just a little bit before, whenever, it doesn't matter. But the problem that I said with LA Knight is that LA Knight is very interesting when he's chasing for the championship. He makes you want to watch him because you know he's got something that crazy to say with his mouth. You know that he's going to do really, really, really good inside the ring. He's going to put on one heck of a show. But when he has the championship, he's not interesting at all. It's like, all right, well, he's got the championship. Nobody puts LA Knight in real danger. But you know what? With Jacob Fatu, it's the opposite. Jacob Fatu is the danger. Jacob Fatu, he's very interesting in that small chase that we got to see for the United States Championship. And now, oh my God, I'm getting the goosebumps thinking about it. Jacob Fatu is going to chase and become a bigger star. What was the last PLE? It was Saturday Night's Main Event. I pooped. I cacaed all over Solo Fatu being goofy, but you know what? The goofiness is working with me. Hey, look, they need a new goof, right? Because R-Truth is gone and Ron Killings is here. But I see Jacob Fatu becoming a bigger star out at the end of this. It took 3 people to beat Jacob Fatu. Talatanga, JC Mateo, and that new person that you might not know who their name is. That person right there is Talatanga. I think his name was Hikeliu when he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but that's him right there. And the issue right there, that it took 3 guys to beat Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu's going to need some friends. He's going to need some friends real bad. The Tristan Law Show newsletter is now live. Make sure you hit the subscription link in the bottom. It's free. What I do is that before the Saturday Night's Main Event, before Night of Champions, I went in and I gave my predictions. And one of the things that I said is that Jacob Fatu is going to need to make some friends. And that there's a new Bloodline member that could be lurking. Here is the thing. The Bloodline's roots run deep, and they are spreading fast. They're like cockroaches. Just when you get rid of one, there's another Bloodline member coming up, right? There are Bloodline members right now that are in wrestling who you never even heard about. What is a man or a woman to do if you want to succeed against the Bloodline? Let me tell you. If Jacob Fatu wants to get back at Solo Sikoa, he needs to make a friend. And the most important friend that he can make, y'all gonna hate me for this. You're going to hate me for this. But just listen with me. Just ride with me. The most important friend that he's going to make is Roman Reigns. Listen, the most important friend that Jacob Fatu can make is Roman Reigns. Reason being, Roman Reigns is dangerous. Jacob Fatu is dangerous. Now imagine if we put them in the ring together, it's danger times 2. Roman Reigns came back after he lost the championship to and all he did, he didn't get rid of the Bloodline. All he did was just get his lick back. And because he got his lick back, he just squashed the roach. And because he squashed the roach, there's still so much more there. Roman Reigns has allowed the Bloodline to exist. He and Jacob Fatu need to bomb the house and get rid of the Cockroaches. Heel Vega says that Bloodline is eternal. Future members haven't even been conceived yet. It's crazy when you think about it. No. There are future members of the Bloodline probably being conceived while we are talking right now. There is somebody in Samoa getting their cheeks clapped. And one day they're going to be in the Bloodline on WWE. You just can't get rid of the WWE. Get rid of the Bloodline. What is a man to do? Jacob Fatu needs to make friends. He needs to make friends with Roman Reigns. He's already got Jimmy Uso. He needs to get Jey Uso. Remember when you couldn't tell Jimmy and Jey Uso apart? Now you can definitely tell. I can go back in old pictures and I'm like, oh yeah, that's them, that's them. That was the issue I had with the Bella twins. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that Jacob Fatu needs to eliminate. He needs to squash, remove, bomb the whole entire Bloodline house and get rid of it. Roach bomb. I'm saying roaches, not like TNT. I'm talking about roach bomb like Raid. Just want to let you know that this summer is going to be pretty interesting. And we are running the promo hotline. I want you to complain about anything, but I want you to praise things as well, too. I want you to cut a promo. And when I hear a promo that's good, I'm going to play it live here on the show. Next episode, when we come back, we're coming back on Tuesday live at noon. God willing. Make sure you subscribe so that you know when we're going live. I want you to cut a promo. I want you to be a part of the show. 973-826-0101. Tell me what you hate. Tell me what you love. Cut your best promo. If your promo's trash, I'm not even going to play it. If your promo's good, I'm going to play it. Make sure you leave your name and tell me where the hell you're from because I want to give you credit for your promo. I think that's fair. I think that's more than fair. But let's go to one of the most chaotic matches of the night. This is John Cena versus CM Punk. I told you about the WWE Championship. I'm going to talk about the person that is going to take the belt off of John Cena. I said, in my own words, I said, the only person that could take the belt off of John Cena is Cody Rhodes. But I'm wrong. And I'm going to prove to you how I'm right. Let's keep it locked. But look, John Cena is still the champ. But that match had nothing but chaos in there. Seth Rollins and his crew, Bronson Breakker, Bronson Reed interfere. So that means Penta and Sami Zayn had to get involved. It was a mess. It was a kerfuffle. That's what it was. It was a kerfuffle. John Cena, he is not just a heel anymore. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say something very disrespectful right now. John Cena is the final boss. John Cena, he is the final boss only because Super Mario could have never become Mario without going through Bowser. And every single person that's touching John Cena is becoming a bigger star. And one of those bigger stars that I'm going to talk about is probably going to be the person that could take the belt off of John Cena, but we're not there yet. Heel Vega says that CM Punk versus John Cena was masterful, but the overbooked mess took away from the shine from their alleged finish of the match altogether. You know what? I'm glad that you watched, because I remember you told me last month you turned off the TV before and you missed the return of Ron Killings. I'm glad that you watched. You know what? Just for that, you're going to get a hand clap. You're going to get a hand clap for that. But one thing I'm not going to clap for is CM Punk. He's talking about the overbooked mess. Let me tell you about the biggest mess in that whole entire match. Seth Rollins. We're talking about the Bloodline being roaches. Seth Rollins is a roach by himself. He's an itch that CM Punk can't scratch. And every single time when CM Punk is going to do something good and go to win, Seth Rollins rears his ugly head. CM Punk was one of the last two men in the ring at the Elimination Chamber, which led to who was going to wrestle Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. It was CM Punk and John Cena. But what happened? I'll tell you what happened. The moment that CM Punk could have probably won, Seth Rollins came out and curb stomped him. The moment last night where CM Punk was going to take the championship off of John Cena. And that's not the person who I'm telling you that's going to who could take the championship off of Cena. Just keep it locked. Sit down. If you're driving, just turn up the volume. If you're sitting in the house, turn on the headphones. Just put the phone down and just listen to me. If you're watching, kick up your feet, because I'm going to blow your mind with when I tell you who is going to take the belt off of him. So Seth Rollins, he's just always in the ear, always in the face of CM Punk. CM Punk's going to have to get rid of him. I don't know what they're going to have to do. Are they going to have to get into a cage or something? Right? Because CM Punk's been back, what? 3 years now? Maybe two going on 4? I don't know what it is. But he just can't catch a break. He can't catch a win. Every time he tries to catch a win, Seth Rollins is right there waiting for him. Then he interferes into the match, and then John Cena had to give him the 1-2. But it's like, oh my God, John Cena turned babyface for a minute. Are you dumb? John Cena's not turning babyface. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to put my flag in the sand, in the dirt. John Cena is going to retire a heel. John Cena wants to be the only one to ruin pro wrestling. John Cena cannot, under any circumstances, trust Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is a visionary. They don't call Seth Rollins a visionary because they ran out of names, because they don't know what to call him. So they called him the visionary. You know what a visionary is? Let me go ahead and get the definition for visionary. A visionary is a person with the ability to imagine future possibilities and to formulate innovative, ambitious, and potentially transformative ideas. I've got a transformative idea for you. Seth Rollins, undisputed WWE champion. That's one heck of an idea. And John Cena didn't want that. John Cena can't trust somebody who is, regardless, heel versus heel matches usually don't work. But you know what? Seth Rollins is going to walk out there with that champion, and he's going to come back on Monday Night Raw, and he's going to go, ha, 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 ah. You know those little noises that he makes. But look, listen. What if the next champion is Ron Killings? And what if Cody Rhodes turns heel because of it? All right. You know what I'm going to make? I'm going to make a tinfoil hat. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wear my tinfoil hat. And I'm going to wear my tinfoil hat. Make sure you subscribe. We're working on getting to 500 subscribers. We'll take 5,000. We're getting ready to go to 500. So mash that subscribe button if it's your first time here. We do some really cool things here. I'm going to make a tinfoil hat. And when I come up with my crazy, cockamamie ideas, I'm going to put that tinfoil hat on. So right now, if you ask me, would be the perfect time for me to go ahead and put that hat on. Because I see Ron Killings as the next undisputed WWE champion. I was going on for days, for years, for weeks. I'm on Threads. You can follow me on Threads at The Real Big Triss. Follow me on Threads. I was on Threads and I was having discussions with people saying, nope, the only person that logically makes sense to take the belt off of John Cena is Cody Rhodes. Logically, when you're staring it dead in the eyes, it makes sense. But you need to understand that WWE is no longer in the business of giving you anything that is predictable. They want to give us the okie doke. They want to give us the flim flam. They want to bamboozle us every single second of the way. Look at the bamboozlement that we got, thinking that, oh, R-Truth is fired. They even had people like me coming out here making a video talking about, oh, they'd never fire R-Truth. 7 days later, R-Truth on the government cheese line. They'd never fire R-Truth. But now R-Truth out there shaking a can so he can go collect some change so that he could feed his family. So you didn't expect that. And you'll never expect R-Truth, Ron Killings, to win the championship. Cody turning heel, I'm going to dive into Ron Killings winning the championship in just a second. But let me go to the chat. Heel Vega said the funniest thing was Penta getting his entrance strutting, doing a hectic mess. He let Braun come to him, low-key smart. Back in WWE, November makes 2 years. Okay. But he was injured for a big part of it. Heel Vega said that Seth is undisputed champion won't work for him. I'm going to tell you why I think Ron Killings is going to work for you. He says Seth is an A-plus star in the business, but he's not the guy for the business. Not S-tier, but he excels with his limitation. And Cody, man, Cody is a heel. I agree. Let me tell you how Cody's going to turn heel. Thank you so much for your comments. So WWE had Fanatics at the Jacob Javits Center a couple weeks ago. That's the big thing down the street from Madison Square Garden. It's about 2 blocks. And he was interviewed. And Cody Rhodes said, let me put on a Cody Rhodes face so that y'all could see Cody Rhodes, because y'all need to look at that face and understand what the heck is going on here. Cody says at Fanatics, the being a good guy aspect of it, I don't get tired of it because I get to have all those moments where you cheer him, to where he gives away the belt, to where he kisses your baby. But he says, I do think we're probably at the tail end though, because there's only so much someone like him can do. Yes, you could only win for so long. Give it a break. I don't want to cheer Cody Rhodes anymore because Cody, I know who the hell that you are. He said that he'd like to do it until the end of his career, but at some point it's like, all right, all we do is cheer for him. Eventually, fans want to see someone else, and that someone else is going to be Ron Killings. I'm going to eat my words. Damn, it's the second time in a month that I've eaten my words, and it's been Ron Killings' fault. I'm going to eat my words. Let me tell you how this is going to make more sense. I said that Cody Rhodes is the only person that could take the belt off of John Cena. Let me tell you how this is going to work. A straight-up one-on-one match between John Cena and Ron Killings is not going to do it. It's not going to work. It's going to feel improper if those two just get in the ring and say, okay, so what about Cody Rhodes, right? What about Ray? There's a lot of names that you could throw in the mix. So I see it being a triple threat, a fatal four-way. Maybe This is a stretch, maybe an Elimination Chamber match, but I don't think that's going to last that long. Ron Killings is going to be the surprise pick. He stands the most, Ron Killings, a.k.a. or FKA, formerly known as R-Truth. He stands to benefit the most from winning in a chaotic, high-stakes match. That would elevate Ron Killings to a place that you haven't even seen him yet. Here's how we're gonna fantasy book him into the main event idea. So it's going to be John Cena, the champion, has to be there. Cody Rhodes, because he's the one that has to take the belt off of John Cena. So we thought. It's going to be Seth Rollins, because he's the Money in the Bank. He can cash in any single time. And then Ron Killings. It could be all of those people minus Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins could be like, I want to add myself into the match. He could cash in right before the match even starts or during the match, creating more unpredictability. Seth Rollins does have until next year Money in the Bank to cash in that championship. So there's no rush for him. He makes you feel that there's a rush, but there's no rush at all. But Ron Killings wins. He's going to celebrate. Now, in that match, Cody Rhodes was included in that match. But you know what? Cody Rhodes just wasn't good enough. There was too much going in the ring at the same time for Cody to even focus. He thought he had friends in there, but Cody was probably all by himself. Ron Killings wins, and instead of celebrating him, Cody resents him. Cody starts to bring some player Haitian into the dancery, and he's no longer getting it crunk. And that's the seed for Cody Rhodes' heel turn. Because when Cody Rhodes won the championship, wasn't half the WWE locker room out there putting Cody Rhodes on his shoulder talking about, oh my God, that's our man. He did it. We're so happy for him. No. Let me tell you something. Cody Rhodes is not going to be the person to reciprocate that. Right? Because everybody with the last name Runnels, that's the shoot last name, that's the real last name for Cody Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes, and Goldust, a.k.a. Dustin Rhodes in AEW. Anybody with the last name Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has been the most successful person running around with the Rhodes last name. He's been the most successful person running around with the genes of the American dream in him, in the pro wrestling, period. And for him to not get that championship and for R-Truth to win it is a slap in the face to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is only concerned about himself, in case you couldn't tell. When Cody Rhodes went ahead and booked the tag team match without even consulting people. He's just in it for himself. And if you can't see it, open up your eyes. Ron Killings was fired. Storyline. We don't believe that he was fired. That was last episode. Check that out when you're done here. Ron Killings was fired, sent home, and the fans used their voice to bring Ron Killings back. And now the biggest moment of his entire career, much bigger than him being the first black NWA champion, is him becoming the undisputed champion for WWE. Him standing at the top, and Cody Rhodes is sitting here as a hater. Let's see what we got in the comments. Universal says, Tristan he said, good morning, Tristan, and good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Universal. He says, Tristan, unfortunately, I disagree. Look, it's okay. As long as we are all respectful of everybody, I let you disagree, right? Because it's two-way. This show is not just about me. It's about us. It's about our opinions. I give you, whoever you are watching, wherever you're watching, whether you're watching us live or on demand. That's why I take the time to respond to every single comment. Because every single thing that you say, as long as it's respectful, you're not racist, sexist, prejudiced, any of that, your comments are valid here. So you don't even have to say you disagree with me because I want you to disagree with me. When I used to be a manager back in the day, I hated yes men. Hated a yes man. Sometimes you got to challenge me and say, you know what? That's a hell of an idea. Your idea is better than mine. So let's go into Universal. Universal says, Tristan, unfortunately, I disagree. Ron will not be involved in any future Cena or main event storylines. Okay. I can agree with that because he now has issues with Aleister Black. Make sure you see SmackDown if you don't know what we're talking about. You are right. You have a point. He says that heel Jade didn't deserve it. She didn't do nothing to deserve it, especially when all of her matches are bad. And then last night, she did a major botch with a 2-count pin. Jade push needs to stop now. Okay, I want to address the botch thing so badly. You ever been in a fight? Anybody that's ever been in a fight can attest to this. Because everybody knows that pro wrestling is scripted, that it's a show, that the puncher is supposed to look like this, that you're not supposed to slip. It's supposed to be a work of art, right? You're not supposed to see the blooper in the match. But when you are having you ever watch somebody have a fight and they go to throw that punch, but they go to throw the punch and they miss? That's not a botch. They just missed, right? When somebody does something and it's not right in a fight, they go to throw a kick. They pick that leg up and they go kick and they slip. And the other person jumps on top of them and just, sends them to wherever the angels hang out. Nobody says that's a botch. They just slipped. Ah, damn, he slipped. So pro wrestlers, and I'm telling you this, as Tristan Law, semi-retired pro wrestler, and your host of the Tristan Law Show, if there's a botch in pro wrestling, just let it be, right? Because you know what? They are putting on a simulated fight, a simulated battle. Because we know in 2020 that pro wrestling is a work. It's a shoot. It's a flim-flam, and it's an okie-doke. But you know what? We all sit down every single week to get entertained. We sit down to hear me talk about it to get entertained. Let's see what else Universal has to say. Good comment so far. He says that heel Solo winning the title was not the original plan. Jean Paul. I know Jean Paul. That's that Triple H guy, right? Never did nothing for himself. I agree. He changed the booking an hour before the showtime. Jacob was to win and to retain by DQ. Everything has been planned regarding the Bloodline's future storylines. Heel Vega's going back with Universal. He says he has agreed to disagree. Jade has put in a ton of work and gotten better. WWE is unfortunately not a wrestling company, despite the name. They are a sports entertainment. Jade is a better head turner. Yeah. So they got this thing in pro wrestling. It's called, oh my God, what is it called? I'm going to tell you what it is, and maybe I remember what it is while it's going on. I think it's like the airport check or whatever. When you see somebody, you ever seen somebody walking by, just mad brolic, right? Let's say you're walking through the mall, and that person just brolic, really fit. You go, what the hell does that guy do? What the hell does that guy do? Jade Cargill has that look. She has that look to where she fits the picture of being a pro wrestler. Jade Cargill, I think she's not a great wrestler. I'll admit it, right? She's not putting on 5-star matches, but that's why she doesn't need to be in AEW. AEW focuses on the wrestling and the storyline second. In WWE, it's all about the emotional investment, about how they make you feel. And what they do is say, oh yeah, then you wrestle after. That's why WWE will take people that don't know how to wrestle. WWE, when you go to try out for WWE, they don't care whether you can wrestle or not. They care whether they care whether you have the fundamentals, whether you have the basics, and they will teach you the rest. WWE doesn't care whether you can wrestle or not, because they're taking track stars, they're taking weightlifters, people that have never taken a bump in their life. That's when you fall down. It's called a bump. And they're teaching them how to wrestle. They're teaching you how to wrestle first, and then what they really care about is, do you have a character? Do you have a character that somebody's going to open up their wallet? If I have my wallet right now, I take out my wallet and make you give your hard-earned money to say, you know what? I want to buy an LA Knight t-shirt. I want to buy a Solo Sikoa t-shirt. And I think that one of the things with Solo Sikoa, that he had no personality, but his personality is coming along. The little stupid laugh that he does. So Jade Cargill maybe did not fit in AEW, but trust me when I tell you, she fits in WWE. She looks great. She's a sports entertainer, and they'll teach her how to wrestle later on. Good comment, though. Thank you very much. Let's see. Donnell Masons, do you think that Karrion Kross is buried by losing to Sami Zayn? You know what? That match wasn't even something I wanted to talk about. You know why? I feel like the match was put together last minute. But because I'm a man of the people, let me talk about that real quick. I didn't see, under any circumstances, no circumstances that I see Karrion Kross losing. How is it that Karrion Kross would lose that match? What is it even going to do for Karrion Kross to lose that match? Yes, Sami got a good win, but when is the last time that you remember Sami Zayn even having a credible win? That you go, oh yeah, that boy right there, he good. Karrion Kross was fired from the WWE, and they brought him back. And WWE has done nothing with Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is out there trying to get himself over. Look at his YouTube channel. He made a really good video leading up into WrestleMania 41. Check it out. After you watch this, don't click away. Stay right here. Hit that like button while you're still here as well, too. Seven of y'all watching and only 4 likes. Everybody hit that like button right now. If you liked it, unlike it, and like it again. And then subscribe. Why the hell not, right? Karrion Kross is a future world champion. Karrion Kross was an NXT champion. So what are they doing with him? What, just putting him on the back burner? Karrion Kross deserves more. Karrion Kross, though, is toxic, though. Let me tell you what makes him so toxic. He's so toxic because every single person that he touches, he doesn't have to win. Every person that he touches, he infects them like a virus. Like a virus. I don't know what's next for Karrion Kross, though. Yeah, you can infect people like viruses all the time, but eventually they get rid of viruses. Ryan Good News says, all I want to know is when do we get to see El Generico versus El Grande Americano? You know what? I'd pay for that. In case you didn't know who El Generico is, El Generico was the gimmick that Sami Zayn used to use in the Indies before he got to WWE. I'd pay for that. Let's see. Let's run through these messages real quick. Let's see. Universal says, I disagree 100% talking to Heel Vega. And no. Let's go back up. The 2 count botch is more on the official. When the performer's shoulder is off the mat, it's the official's responsibility for catching that. That's what Heel Vega said. One of the things that I learned when I was in pro wrestling is that sometimes you'd come out there and the referee would be like, hey, sometimes, the referee there might be one referee, he might not be able to catch your finish, so he might not know who's actually going over, who's going to win. So one of the things the referee would say is, hey, what's the finish? And what I would normally tell the referee is, it's a pinfall. That's the finish. You don't need to know the sequence going into it. It's a pinfall. I need if there's nothing crazy going on, and I mean crazy going on like the Seth Rollins match. No. Like the John Cena CM Punk match. The referee needs to know every single thing that's going on so that he or she could be in the perfect place. See, now I'm teaching y'all pro wrestling. Y'all lucky I like y'all. But when there's something simple, just a regular pinfall finish, there's nothing crazy in the match, no removing the turnbuckles, getting the chairs or nothing like that. Even removing the turnbuckle and getting the chair like Randy Orton did, the referees are supposed to do what he does. Hey, Randy, put that chair away. And when Randy gives the chair to the referee, he tells him, stay or wait a second. And then he goes and he takes off the turnbuckle. Boom. But the referee's job is to count to 3. The referee's job is to make the illegitimate feel legitimate. The referee's job is to count to 3 every single time. Whether it is if I am the champion, when I was the champion, I was always told that I'm getting goosebumps talking about it now. Thank you so much to the person that just subscribed, 462 subscribers. Shout out to us. Going to 500. When I was champion, I was terrified Because I was always told, we're going to have you face other people that are not from this company. And even people in this company, they're going to pin you. And if you do not kick out at 3, they are the champion. And you're going to have to explain to me why they're the champion and you're not. Because I didn't write that. So, like, you always have to make sure the referee always has to count to 3. Always. That is their job. Don't do that 1, 2, and then stop or nothing like that. The referee's sole job is to count to 3 and make the illegitimate legitimate. If the referee does the 1, 2, and there's no kick out and they're standing there and the referee is waiting, he or she's waiting, the heat goes on the referee. I'm going to teach you something else about wrestling right now. There's let's say there's 3 people in the ring. We're going to say the referee, Jade Cargill, and no, Jade Cargill and Asuka's not going to work. There's 3 people in the ring. It's the referee, it's John Cena, and CM Punk from last night. There is only one person out of that threesome, out of that trio, that is supposed to get heat. The only person that's supposed to get heat, meaning an adverse reaction, that only person that's supposed to get heat is John Cena. It's not supposed to be the referee. The referee's never supposed to have heat. When I was wrestling, right, semi-retired, didn't retire, semi-retired. When I was wrestling full-time, and somebody would come in the back arguing, oh, well, you know, the referee messed up the finish, I would say, as the OG in the locker room, I never forget when I felt like an OG, but I was the OG in the locker room, I would say, what was the finish? Oh, the finish was I was supposed to pin him and blah, 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 but the referee counted to 3. So why didn't you kick out? The heat doesn't go on the referee. The referee's job is to count to 3. Your job is to kick out because the referee's job is to make the illegitimate legitimate. So yeah, that's your pro wrestling thing right there. I went to learned from the Dudley Boys, learned from Nunzio, learned from a lot of people, been in the ring with some great minds. So yeah, that's what I learned. Let's go back to the chat. So we are talking about Ron Killings winning the WWE Undisputed Championship. And let's see. Oh, hey, Sydney Lane Carter, it was your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sydney Lane Carter. Happy birthday to you. So, let's see. I want to give the chat. 16, the wrestlers are injured right now in the WWE, as Universal says. Let's see. Ryan Chad had surgery, out for a year at least. Ooh. Shout out to Ryan Chad. All wrestlers, Universal says, all wrestlers performing in a match all know the setup, finish, and sequence leading to it. Ref also lets them know the time during the match as well. The ref is responsible for a lot that fans don't know. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I wrestled. I never forget wrestling on the indies. And one time I wrestled at the show. And the referee is coming up to me. The referee had a stopwatch on. The referee knew all the times of the matches. They may say, when you go to an indie show, 30-minute match, right? It's a 30-minute time limit. They don't like getting a 30-minute match. They're probably going to do a 10-minute match, maybe 15, maybe 8, maybe 5, 4, whatever. But the referee's telling you your times. And when the referee's telling you that you got 2 minutes left, the referee's telling you need to go home. Whatever it is that you've got planned that you didn't get to, you're going to throw that away. You're going to the finish because nothing else matters. There was one time I wrestled for a guy named Gino, not Gino Caruso of ECW, another guy named Gino. Not going to talk ill of him because he's passed away at this time. R.I.P. to him. I wrestled a match and I was 30 seconds early. The referee told me, hey guys, take it home. Boom. So we did what we had to do. When I got through the curtain, the beration that guy gave me, and didn't even pay us. Support independent pro wrestling. One of my friends, good friend, Cheyenne Ortiz, he has a YouTube channel as well too. And you can find him when you go to the playlist all the way down at the bottom. I actually got Heel Vegas channel there as well too. He does Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards and all these other trading cards. But Cheyenne Ortiz, he does a thing for independent wrestling each week. So if you're looking for an independent wrestling show, make sure that you check him out. Support independent wrestling, because there's a lot of us out there that independent wrestled that didn't get no pay, right? There's a time that independent wrestling was so saturated, it wasn't really paying people much. People said, you wrestled and still worked a regular job? Yes, because it wasn't paying enough. But that guy yelled at us because we were 30 minutes quick. I get if we were a minute short. I get it if we were even 30 seconds over, but we were 30 seconds short. We could have took our time walking back and eat up that 30 seconds. Whatever. Let's see. Heel Vega. Same principle applies to Seth versus Priest. When Priest was knocked loopy and didn't kick out of the Falcon Arrow, but the official didn't count the 3. Officials should count as a shoot, always. Heel Vega says, unless the official is the main part of the finish, Scott Armstrong fast counting Daniel O'Brien or beating Randy Orton, and commentators were instructed to deliberately disregard it. Sometimes, look, things happen, and you just got to disregard it. But you know what? I was talking about taking it home. Let's go ahead and take this thing home. I see Ron Killings becoming the undisputed WWE champion. I do. And I see it becoming off the back of Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes is going to be turning heel. John Cena is giving everybody the rub. John Cena is leaving pro wrestling better than he found it. And the way that he's doing that is by making stars along the way. He's making Cody Rhodes a bigger star. And you have to be put in the ring with somebody who's like, you know what? That person put him in jeopardy. Ron Killings is going to be a bigger star. He's just a bigger star after dealing with John Cena. But right now, Ron Killings is on a detour. And when Ron Killings becomes the WWE Undisputed Champion, I want all of you to come back in here and apologize. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. But this is what we're getting. If you're looking at Night of Champions that took place in Saudi Arabia, the summer that we are going to get for SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium. If you are going to SummerSlam, I want to meet you. I can't do two. I don't think I'm doing 2 shows that weekend because I'm going to SummerSlam both nights. Whether my job likes it or not, I'm going to SummerSlam. I want to meet you. But SummerSlam is probably going to be so hot. Like if you stop for a second and think, all the ramifications that can come out of Night of Champions, all the ramifications that could come out of SmackDown on Friday, that just happened, and all the ramifications that will come out of Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and SummerSlam at MetLife Stadium next month in August. I think it's August. I don't want to miss SummerSlam. Let me check them tickets. It's going to be something that you can't miss. And just when you think that things were heating up, though, in the WWE, they dropped the Rumble announcement. And you know what? I am not feeling it. In 2026, the Royal Rumble is heading to Saudi Arabia. Let me go ahead and give a hand clap for that. I ain't hand clapping that. I feel that sometimes, most times, in this current climate of pro wrestling, that TKO, I'm not talking about WWE, TKO, they are pricing out their market. They're going to go to Saudi Arabia. So fine, if y'all want to go to Saudi Arabia to do the Royal Rumble, here's what I ask you to do. Stop going to Saudi Arabia so often. You go to Saudi Arabia, WWE, so darn often there, but they've been there twice this year. How about you just go once next year? Because if you go so darn much, what makes Saudi Arabia so special? They're going to bring the Royal Rumble into Saudi Arabia. What's next? SummerSlam? What's next? WrestleMania? Look, let me tell you why it does make sense though. Because because Saudi Arabia is looking to turn themselves into a vacation mecca, into a vacation destination of the world. Goodbye, Disney World. Hello, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I guess that's what they want to do. They have a WWE museum over there. Wow, that's real nice. Wow. We were supposed to get one in America at Universal Studios, Florida. But we didn't get one. Where is our museum? That was big, though, in the time when WWE was really working with NBC Universal. This decision note to put Saudi Arabia on the map with the Royal Rumble in 2026, it can kill the Royal Rumble's magic. Scale it back. Make it special again. Stop going to Saudi Arabia so often. If you are enjoying what I'm doing, I had this cough for like 3 weeks. We might should go let the doctor take a look at it. If you're enjoying what I'm doing, I have finally launched my newsletter. It's free. If you like the real talk and you don't want to miss a beat, subscribe to the newsletter. The link is in the description of this episode. Subscribe to the newsletter. In the newsletter, I give you the predictions for the pay-per-view instead of coming on and talking about it, right? Because you don't want to see my ugly face all the time. You don't want to see my long hair that I'm growing because I'm trying to get dreads. Almost 40 years old. It's going to fall out one day. Got to do something with it. But subscribe to my newsletter. It's free. And what I'm doing is I'm giving you extra perks in there. I may even drop a code telling you, hey, look, merch is on sale at the Tristan Law Show, and I might leave a link to that. Wink, wink. At the newsletter, if you missed an episode, some people might just want to read about it real quick. I take every single episode and I feed it to you in a way that you can read it, and I put the video on the top. When you see it, share it with somebody. It'll come to your email. It'll say from the Tristan Law Show, and don't worry, I'm not going to message you one-on-one and like send me crypto or any kind of fraud things. I don't deal with fraud. But there's an ability for you in there to support where you can lay down a little bit of change because we are growing. Do you understand that I have had, this wasn't me, the 462 subscribers, that's not all me. I don't go out to people, I'm like, hey, subscribe to, the Tristan Law Show, please. I present my product and people love it. In a year, I started doing this show live on YouTube a year ago. Last July, makes 1 year. And I've gotten over 420 subscribers is what I've gotten in the past year. We're growing. There's something special happening here. And all I'm doing is just making it more so that we can build an ecosystem. An ecosystem of fans who love pro wrestling. I can't be in here talking to you all day. I gotta go to work soon. But we're almost done. We're gonna take it home, brother. But I'm building an ecosystem of like-minded people that love to talk about pro wrestling. No idea is stupid unless you say something like, like Hulk Hogan's gonna come back and win the WWE Championship. Unless you say that, Vince McMahon is going to buy WWE again. Now, I just don't think he has enough money for it. But I'm building a community, an ecosystem of where we could all be like-minded, talk, and get wrestling. Wrestling is popular. And if you are here watching this now, you're probably not getting enough pro wrestling, and I'm going to give it to you. There's going to be a day that WrestleMania is going to be coming to a town, and I'm going to be going to that town. And we are all going to get together, and we're all going to party responsibly and have a great time. That is what I'm growing towards. I'm growing towards doing this show every single day. We are going to do subscriptions here. We're going to do memberships. We're going to have badges that identify you, that when you jump into the chat, you're going to be like, oh, Universal has been here since day one. Oh, Heel Vega's been here since day one. And I'm not trying to beat you in your pockets. The t-shirts that I sell, go look at the link in the description as well too. The t-shirts, the shirts, the hoodies, the sweatpants, all that stuff. I do that because you know what? I want you to feel like you are a part of the show. The promo hotline. There is no other podcast live on YouTube that gives you the ability to complain about anything or praise anything pro wrestling. 973-826-0101. When we're done here, you call that line. Be a part of the show. This is not just me. Yeah, it's a Tristan Law Show because it's my name, but this is something that we built together. Let me just run through the chat real quick. I'm going to take this home, brother. Universe said if Ron wins the heavyweight championship in WWE, I will give you props, but it ain't happening. God bless. All right, appreciate you for that. They signed a 10-year contract. They have 3 years left. They're doing a Super WrestleMania in the future, 2027. In 2027, there'll be 2 WrestleManias. I don't like that. The reason I don't like that is because I'm not saying I don't like your idea. I'm saying that I don't like the idea of WrestleMania being twice in a year. Imagine if your birthday was twice in a year. If your birthday, I don't know who you are, Universal. Maybe I do. Maybe you're using a different name. Don't tell me who you are. I like the mystique. I want you to meet me one day and be like, hey, I'm Universal. I'm like, hey, Universal. If your birthday, Universal, was more than once in a year, I promise you, you wouldn't get more than one gift. I'm just saying. If Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, was more than twice a year, it wouldn't be such a big deal. You know what? You didn't get nothing this Christmas. Wait till next Christmas. It's only in 4 months. Let's see. Heel Vega, the Women's Royal Rumble match will be a Power Ranger Battle Royal. Unfortunately, Godspeed in 2024, in 2026, ladies. He's talking about the fact that the ladies wear the leotard and everything else like that. The second thing that Universal like to say is I'd like to share with you is that CM Punk has wrestled in the Middle East prior to last night. Yeah. I think he wrestled for like a birthday party or something like that. You might be right. 2013, the DOH Qatar versus Cena, where Cena won. Yeah, very good. I love that we're all here doing this together. But I want to let you, let's just recap this real quick, all right? We're going to recap this real quick. I just want to let you know that that Randy Orton is not done. That's the face right there of a man who's disappointed in himself. That is the face of a man who's been on the straight and narrow for so long. For so long since Jesus was a child, he's selling himself short. Jade Cargill won. But you know what about her moment? Her moment was muffled. Solo Sikoa stacked the deck, found another Bloodline member. I mean, Jacob Fatu got 7 of them on his own. The Bloodline is turning into cockroaches. They need to get rid of the Bloodline. John Cena's not just the heel, he's the final boss. Everybody that touches John Cena is becoming a bigger star. Ron Killings is going to be not the heavyweight champion, but the undisputed WWE championship. Universal, I said it. Truth is our truth. God, I can't stop calling him R-Truth. His mama call him Ron. His daddy call him Ron. We got to call him Ron. Ron Killings might feel the summer. And Cody's in trouble. Cody's in big trouble. And I think that he sees it. Thank you so much for joining me today on this special WWE Night of Champions recap and reaction show. If you like what I did today, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. The newsletter, sign up for it. Link in the description. The merch store, check it out. Link in the description. I'll be back on Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Tristan Law. This is the Tristan Law Show. And I'll see you next time. Are you alive or just breathing? Flashing red lights, driving at night. Window